Hi, welcome to the class on formatting options in Microsoft Excel. Of course, there are so many advanced formatting options as well, like custom formatting and conditional formatting. But in this video, we will be learning about the basics of formatting, how to do the basic formatting, and what is Excel formatting. Now, let's get started. Excel formatting is an optional step following data preparation or all of the data cleansing, enriching, structuring, and standardizing that is required in order to prepare data for analysis. For example, adding dollar to cells that contain values pertaining to prices or configuring cells that represent dates to standard display of something. So for an example, it's very theoretical, but let me explain you in layman's term. So normally, let's say you are dealing with data. Now, as we already know, the data are of two types majorly. One is your categorical data and one is your numerical data. Sometimes what happens is when you are reading the files or when you are reading data from your databases, your numbers are by mistake converted into text messages or else as string or else vice versa. Your string could become numbers or else your dates might not be in the right format. So it is always advisable to use formatting so that you can actually format in the way you want. And then once the data is ready, then you can take your next step for your analysis. Simple. Or else it's not all about analysis. Let's say you are showcasing something, you are preparing some report and you want to beautify your report. You want to change something, you want to change the layout, you want to change the text values. All these things you can use formatting. Now, components of format cells are basically number, the alignment, the font, the border, the filling. Let's say you want to fill some solid color in that or gradient color, and protection. These are the major components of format cells. Now, talking about data formatting, there are multiple options in data formatting. If I start talking about formatting in details, it might take around 2 to 3 hours to finish. But we will be restricting this video so that we understand the basics of it. And rest, I will like you guys to try out by yourself. Because the more practical approach you will take, the more practice you do, the more you learn. Right. Apart from that, we will also be learning about the data formatting in Excel, like how to format numbers, alignments, and all those things. So we'll simply start with this sheet, which is basic formatting sheet. Now, I already have a table like this and my header like this. So simply, let's say I want to increase the font of this one. I'll have to go to home and this is where your fonts are. These are very basics. Let's say you want to change your font types. You can easily hover around and you can see the changes. Okay. Let's say I want to stick to Calibri. I will stick to Calibri and then I will give the font size as 50 and oh, it's not visible. Then I will just expand it. Now I will just change the color, text color to this. Simple. Now, as my data is in a tabular format, I want to give a table shape. So I will be selecting all the data and I'll go to this border selection, click on here and do all borders. Again, as I told, these are very basic steps. Now, as this is my header values, I want to give a bold impact to them. So you can either use the shortcut, which is Control B, or else you can select this. Simple. And now next step is going to be giving a color to your body. So I'll give a color, let's say a very light color so that we are able to see the values properly. This, and let's say for this header, I will giving a small, let's say I will give this color. Simple. And this is how things looks like. And then I will give my header values a little bit higher font size as compared to the body. Okay. So this is how a basic formatting works. Fonts formatting and all those things. Okay. Will not change the customer ID. Okay. It is becoming big because of my basic formatting name, which should be okay. We will just and then my data is ready. Okay. So this is my data. Now I will move on to the next step, which is the basic formatting. Let's say this particular column balance, I want to convert it into text. So simply right click, or else you can do Control+1. So Control+1 is a shortcut for your format cells, or else you can simply do right click and then format cells. Once you go to format cells, you can see there are so many options: number, alignment, font, border, fill, and protection. Simple. Let's say by default, the category selected is general category. Let's say you want to change it to numbers. And in this formatting, you don't want the decimal places. So simply I can just change my decimal places to 0. Simple. Which format do you want? I will select the first format, click on OK. So my decimal places are gone. Or else, if you want to convert it into text, simply select on text, click on OK. Now this becomes a text. Simple. Reverting back because I don't want to make it a text. I was just showing you. Similarly, we'll also take a look at other options. So there are fraction, percentage, time, date. Date time is basically used for your date columns, which we don't have right now. So all these things are different categories. By default, Excel does a very good job in identifying the default category. But in case you feel that it has done some mistakes in identifying the category, you can simply change the category, right? Now alignment. Alignment, left indentation, centralized, or right indentation, all these things are possible. Let's say something like this. Let's say you want to change the alignment of your text. You want to do central. Vertically also you want to do central. And then wrap text. You can see how the number has gone to the center location, right? So all these things are some things which we really don't use. At least I don't use all these alignments, font, and all those things. But in case you want to beautify it, you can definitely do that. Let's say you want to change the font colors or font sizes or font types. You can either go to the format cells, or you can simply go to your font sections as well. Here also you can simply change it to, let's say you change it to something else, right? Let's say you want to change it to Arial rounded or Arial black, up to you. Or else you can also do this in your format cells. Go to font, change it to Algerian or something like this, and click on OK, and the numbers will be changed. The font sizes and the all these things will change. Then we have border. Again, border also there are multiple things. How you want to add the borders. Filling, if you want to add some filling, let's say you want to do yellow filling, and this is how your data looks like. Let's say you want to do a filling on these values. I will do format cells, go to filling, give a color. So many options are there. If you want to do a gradient, vertical gradient, all these things, click on OK. And this is how the new column looks like, right? There are some conditional formatting options as well, which we will be learning in the future classes. not today's class. So these are some basic formatting options. Let's see what do we have in the last cell, which is protection. So protection basically says locking cells or hiding formulas has no effect until you protect the worksheet. So this is basically for data privacy. Okay. Now all these are your formatting options. So that's all about your basic formatting. You can just do your own research. Okay, one more thing is date formatting. I just forgot date formatting. Let me just give a 20 and then make it dark and make it some filling. Let's say, okay, date formatting. Let's say I have a date like 01/01/2020, 01/02/2020, something like that. We have two dates and you want to convert the date formats, right? Simply click on format cells, go to number. You can see by default, I'm able to select date. And you can see there are multiple options available. If you want to change it to this, you can already see the sample data here. If you want to change it to this, let's say I want to change it to this. So it should be in the format of 1st January 2020, something like that. If I click on OK, you can see my format is changed. So this is all about the basic formatting. You can also do some other techniques as well. Let's say I want to do date time. Let's say you have a field which is like date with time. All these things are also possible. You can just change your formatting, up to you. If you want to do a 24 hours format or a 12 hours format, or on dates you want to do some formatting like YYMMDD or else DDMMYY, all these things are possible. YYYY hyphen MM hyphen DD, all these things are predefined functions, predefined formats in Excel. So that is all about the basic Excel formatting. In the next classes, we will be learning the custom formatting and conditional formatting and few other topics as well. Thank you. Hi, in this video, we shall be learning about the custom formatting in Excel. So far, we have already covered the basic formatting in Excel, how to convert from a date to a text, text to a number, number to a text, and all these kind of functions like how to format the cells, how to add tables, and all these basic concepts are done. Now, what is custom formatting? Custom formatting is something which is like, it could be anything. There are thousands and thousands ways to implement custom formatting. Let's say you have a number and your manager says, can I have the number in a thousands format, like 123, 000 instead of 123000? Or else your manager asks you, can we have the product code which is in the format of 112, 113? It should be like 0112 and 0113, like in a 4 places. Or else I want 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places. I want to ignore the null values. I want to get rid of the negative values. All these things are possible inside your custom formatting. So again, for this exercise, I have taken this file which has 20 customer data. It has row number, customer ID, surname, credit score, all these parameters it has. And we will be first talking about this column, which is balance. Now, first topic is going to be thousand separator. In this video, trust me, I will only be talking about just few of the ways how we can deal with the custom formatting. There are thousands and thousands of ways. Now, thousand separator. What is thousand separator? Simply, if you have a number like 12000, instead of that, we should have the number like 12, 000. Simple. This is how a thousand format looks like. So to implement the thousands format, click on your column. Let's say we'll implement it on estimated salary. Click on this, right click, format cells. Now we have already gone through this particular cell. There are so many options, right? General, number, currency, custom, all these things are there. So for this thousand separator, we simply have to go to number and use 1000 separator. Now, before applying this, let me just show you how it looks like in the custom window. In the custom window, it is simply 0.00, right? 0.00. That means this is in the format of 0.00, x.00 format. If I go to number and use the 1000 separator, and I don't want decimals, let's say I want to ignore the decimals, I also want negative numbers. Before, let me click on OK, and you can see this is how the new data looks like. Again, now I will go to format cells. I want to check what is my value in the custom field. You can see the value is hash, comma, hash, hash 0. That means hash or pound, whatever you can call. That means you can see in a 4-digit number, you are getting a comma in the comma after the first digit. So automatically Excel understands that it has to implement comma after every 3 digits. Let's say you want to test it. You want to test it on a bigger number. You can see on a bigger number, your number looks like this. Because before every third digit, it is applying the comma. And this is how the custom operation works. And you can see there are so many options in the custom field. So there are multiple ways to do multiple things. It all depends what you are willing to do. So I will just copy paste this code. Now I will try to implement same in the balance. Let's say I want to implement here. I will just quickly go to format cells, go to custom, and just paste it. Simple. Instead of going to the number and selecting the thousands places and all those things, I'll quickly go to custom and select paste this. So this becomes this, right? So always remember that this is basically the formula for a thousands place. Now in the custom, one more thing I wanted to explain, that in this custom field, always, okay, always there are 4 attributes: something, colon something, colon something, colon something, colon something. Okay, that means there will be 3 colons because there are 4 attributes. What are these 4 attributes? The first part is always for the positive numbers. The second part is always for the negative numbers. The third part is for the 0 numbers. And fourth part is always for the text numbers. Okay, like the text values. So let me just remove it. And now let's say I want to hide the 0 values. So how can we do that? Simply, let's not hide the 0 values. Okay, let's try to do this. For negative values, let's keep it like this. And then for 0 values, let's say for 0 values, I want to keep it open. Okay, click on OK. Now you can see my 0 values are gone. See, I have just formatted my 0 values. Let's say, okay, I don't want to do it on the column name. So I'll just go to format cells and then see, first attribute is your positive numbers. This is your positive numbers and this is your negative numbers. For 0 numbers, I want nothing. I want to do nothing. That means it will be erased. Now, if I click on OK, you can see the numbers are gone. But the numbers are still there. It's not visible to you. That's it. If you want to do some mathematical operations, let's say you want to do a mathematical operation on that number, this, comma 5. Of course, this works. 0 plus 5 is 5. So everything works. The value is still there in the cell. If I click on that cell, I will be able to see the value here. You can see, click on this, the value is visible, but it's just not visible to us because of the custom formatting. Now, similarly, after this, let's see what are the different other options for custom formatting. Let me just select this. Now, if you don't want the negative values, For example, how many negative values do we have? Minus 15,000 and minus 12,000. Simply, what I will do is, instead of this, I will just keep it blank. Delete, 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 keep it blank. Once I click on OK, my negative values will also be gone. It will be there in the cell, but it will not be visible to us. You can see negative values are gone. So it all depends. If your manager asks, hey, can you keep all the negative values as part of calculation, but just don't show it? See, there are multiple ways to fix this. You can simply change the color to, let's say you have a number like this. You can simply change the color to white as well, right? That works. That works. But it's not a right way to do it. So you should always go for custom formatting, right? Now, let me revert back the changes. Okay, let's keep the changes, no problem. You can just check it out when you have this file with you. And after this, our next task will be, let's say you have product code and you have sales. Let's say there are two columns. Let's say we'll have few records. Product code 1, 112, 113, 120, 25, something like that. And sales is like 12,000, 1,200, 1,400, minus 1,500, 1,200, 600, something like that. Now, if your manager asks, my product code is always a 4-digit number, why in your Excel sheet it is showing like this? Could be of multiple reasons. When you are extracting data like 0001, it by default gets converted into 1, right? Because it is taking it as a integer value. Now, how can we fix this problem? How can we show the number in a 4-digit format? First of all, is it possible? Yeah, the easiest fix is to change it to text. Convert this value into text. Let's say I want to copy paste this. I can simply convert this value into text and then do my changes 0000112, something like that. This is one of the options. But how can we do it using custom formatting? Let me just copy paste it. Okay, now how can we do this? Simply click on this and then right click, format cells, go to custom. Custom is definitely going to be your go to tool in terms of custom formatting. Go to custom 0000. Simple. That means you are forcing a number to be a 4-digit number. If you want 5-digit numbers, 00000. Simple. Let's see how this works. I don't know if it might work or it might not work, but let's see. If I click on OK, you can see my product code is now changed to 0001, 0112, 0113 in 4-digit format. But it is still, the cell value is still the same. We are just seeing it as a 4-digit number. That's the beauty of custom formatting. Now, what else can we do in custom formatting? Let's say, okay, let's say for negative values, if your manager asks for negative values, can you have a text along with that, like something which will be able to identify that it's a negative number? Let's say, okay, my bad. Let's say we'll go to format options, we'll go to custom. So here I will be copy pasting. Okay, let's just do this number, 2 digits, go to custom. Sorry, click on this. I just wanted to. Okay, okay. Now if I go to format custom, I'll just copy paste this. So I don't want negative numbers. Instead of that, I should mark a negative number as negative, something like that. Simple. So simple, comma, instead of negative. That means I'm appending a text in terms of negative values. So all my negative values will be negative. See, if I still do a sum operation, sum of these values, you can see 2900, 1200 plus 1400, which is 2600, 3800, 4400 minus 1500, which is 2900. So in terms of calculation, it is coming perfectly fine. But to us, what is visible is negative, right? Or else if you want to change it to something else, let's say you want to change it to the value with something, let's say negative. So value with negative, right? All these things are possible inside your custom formatting. Apart from that, there are multiple other options as well in custom formatting. Let's say you want to display a number in a specific format. Let's say you want to display a number in .0 format. So how can we do that? Let's say we'll talk about balance. That means you want a number, let's say you have a number like 120, you want it as 120.0, something like that. So how can we do that? Go to this, right click, format cells. So here, instead of the first part, I will be just doing hash dot zero hash. And then if I do this, you can see it's now in the format of 2 digits. Let's say you want to apply here number of products. Go to custom, hash dot zero hash, click on OK. Now you can see it's 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, something like that. So again, it all depends. Let's say you want to display 3 decimal places. I will click on this column, format cells. 3 decimal places will be hash dot 000, and now it is in the 3 decimal places, right? Now let's try to do some exercise here. Let's say here I will have a number and I will have different formats of it. Let's say we'll have a format like 0, 0.0. Okay, let me just format this row as text. Okay, I have 0, I have 0.0, I have hash dot 0, hash dot 0, I have 0.00, I have, there are so many options available, hash dot 00, and then we'll have the last but not the least, hash dot 000. Let's say we'll have this table, simple table. Let's say I will give my numbers as, let's say 0, okay, 0.5, and then we'll have 5, then we'll have 5.5, we'll have 5.55, we'll have 6, something like that. Okay, now what is 0? Let's say I will copy paste all these values in these cells and then we will format it. Okay, by default I have copy pasted all the values. Now I will format everything. I will start formatting from this particular cell. Right click, format. Which format do you want? I want the format as 0, 0. So this is in this format. Now I will do the formatting in 0.0. Custom 0.0, 0.0. Now 0.0 is like this. So your 0.0, 0.5 is 0.5, your 5 is 5.0. So your numbers are converted into float values. Hash dot 0, format cells, hash dot 0. And then it looks like this. 0.0, sorry, 0.00, 0.00, hash dot 00. See, it looks very difficult, but trust me, it's going to be very easy to deal with. You just have to remember the first part is your positive value, semicolon, negative value, semicolon, zero values, semicolon, text values. Okay, that's it. Now, what else? Let's say we have another column called as zero. And we'll just do this. Oh, my bad. We'll not do this one. Instead of this 6, we'll just change it to 0. Okay, now this is the formatting. Simple. So I hope everybody has learned so far something related to custom formatting. As I said, there are multiple other options. You can see in the formatting, custom formatting, there are multiple options here. And you can simply try out on multiple things and you will understand the various concepts on custom formatting. But again, these are some of the topics which are not that mandatory for a data analyst or a business analyst, because ultimately we have to solve problems, we have to do analysis. If we are stuck somewhere, definitely we have Google to help. So I hope you had a good understanding on custom formatting. Next topic will be on conditional formatting. Thank you. Hi. In this video, we shall be learning about conditional formatting. So far, I hope everybody knows about the basic formatting and the custom formatting. In this video, we will be learning about conditional formatting. Now, what is conditional formatting? Simple English, conditional formatting. That means formatting based on certain conditions. For an example, you are doing some analysis on Excel and your manager asks you, hey, can you do some sort of analysis or do some sort of formatting based on some conditions? Let's say if your sales value is greater than a particular threshold value, then mark it as green or else mark it as red. Well, everything is possible. Can you give some gradient values? Can you give some bar values so that it will be evidently visible what's going on in that particular column? Everything is possible using conditional formatting. Now, conditional formatting is nothing but illustrate the use of conditional formatting in Excel. Conditional formatting helps us visualize data and make worksheets easier to understand. Because once you do some sort of formatting like that, let's say you're analyzing a sales value or analyzing a salary value, once somebody opens it and he sees that these are the items in green and these are the items in red, it will be evidently visible that something is happening here, that the conditional formatting is applied, right? So visually it will be appealing. It catches your attention, catches users attention when somebody opens the worksheet for the first time. It quickly highlights important information in a spreadsheet by using colors, icons, and data bars. It changes the appearance of one or more cells while cell values meet certain conditions. So there are various advantages of conditional formatting. So now we will move on to the practicals part. So for practicals, I'm using the same file. I'm using the same data, which is customer related data, telecom related customer data. And I will be doing some sort of conditional formatting in this particular section, in this particular sheet, right? Now, how to do conditional formatting? You can see in the upper tab, home tab. Inside home tab, you can see conditional formatting, right? Once I click on conditional formatting, now I haven't clicked yet. My mouse is just over that and it says easily spot trends and patterns in your data using bars, colors, and icons to visually highlight important values. If I click on it, you can see there are multiple options available. Highlight cell rules, greater than, lower than, between, equals to. That means if a number is greater than a certain threshold value, then it should be in green, or else up to you. It's up to you. It's up to the one who is doing the analysis, or else less than. top or bottom rules. Let's say you want to mark the top 10 items or top 5 items. Top 5 is, however, not present, but there is always an option of more rules. You can easily go to more rules and find the top 5. Data bars. You can see if I quickly hover this around this column, conditional formatting data bars, you can see as my mouse is hovered over certain number of gradient fields, you can see how the values are changing, like the graph is changing, right? The more the value, the bigger the bar chart will be, the bigger the bar value will be, and so on. So when somebody applies this, let's say if I click on this, it will be applied. Let's say if I'm clicking on this, now just imagine somebody is opening two versions of an Excel sheet, one without the formatting, one with the formatting. 100% with the formatting, if suddenly somebody opens this Excel sheet, definitely my first point of contact, first eye point of contact will be estimated salary, because there is some color or some sort of bar that has been done here. Definitely if somebody opens a sheet, my eyes will be there, right? So that's how appealing a conditional formatting is. Now there are various other options. Data label is just one of them. Okay, let me just delete it. Clear rules from this entire sheet. Now let's say we want to do some sort of formatting based on a threshold value. Okay, let's say my threshold is 80,000. Simple. Now click on this column, go to conditional formatting, go to highlight cell rules, greater than, and now once you are in the greater than, you can see by default there is a value, right? I don't know what this value is. It could be because of multiple reasons, but here I'm going to change it to 80,000. Upon 80,000, greater than 80,000, what I need to do? Let's say I will do a green fill with dark green text. Do it, okay, and then your rules are changed. Similarly, if you want to do it for the other way around, values less than 80,000, again go to highlight cell values less than, and here 80,000, and change it to light red. Instead of this 80,000, if you want to select a cell, you can also select a cell. Let's say I want to delete it, I want to select a cell value. That is also possible. Works the same way like the hard-coded values. But yeah, the hard-coded values, if you change this, it won't be impacted, right? So I'll just go to manage rules, and here instead of this, I will be using this column. Done. Apply. Okay. Now you can see how dynamic it is in nature. Let's say my threshold is decreasing from 80,000, it is changing to 60,000. Upon changing the values, you can see there will be a change in these colors. Enter, and you can see, because it's dynamic in nature, I'm using this cell value. Anything above this cell value is green, anything below this cell value is red. Simple, right? Done. Let's say you want to change the cell value as an average. Average of done. And you can see based on this average value, the cell values have changed, right? 83 less than 83, it's coming as red. Apart from that, there are multiple other options as well. As I told you, conditional formatting, highest values, you can explore all these things like between, equals to, text that contains, date occurring, duplicate values, color scales. A lot of color scales are there. Sometimes I don't think these are very relevant to use, but data bars and all these three options are definitely useful. Let's say data bars. Data bars will give an idea about how the data point values are. Simple, right? Now, let's say I want to apply something on this balance. So conditional formatting, let's say I will give I want to find the top 5 records. So I'll click on more rules because top 5 is not available. I'll click on more rules. Here by default, it is coming top 5 records. preview which type of formatting do you need. Now there is no format set. I'll click on this. Let's say I want to find the top 5 records and I want to give this color. Click on OK. Automatically, I'm able to see the top 5 balances. So who are the top 5 balances? Mr. Onyu, Mr. HE, Mr. H, Mr. Goforth, and Mr. Romeo. Simple. Similarly, let's say you want to delete some rules. Let's say you want to delete rules on estimated salary, or else you want to check how many rules are applied in this column. Simply select on this column, select on conditional formatting, go to manage rules. If you click on manage rules, you will be able to see the different rules. If you want to edit it, you can simply edit it. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. Let's say I want to delete it. Once deletion is done, once I apply and OK, the rules will be deleted. Simple. Few more options. Let's discuss few more options and then we can wind up. Let's say I want to do some icon sets. So directional. So there are multiple options as well like this, which will show you the different graphs, like whether there is an increase or decrease or something like that. Now you can also set all these values based on which you want to increase or decrease. Okay, so let me just select it and go to manage rules, and you can go to edit. You can see where increase where value is greater than equals to 67%. So here the percentage value is defined, or else if you define a number, let's say I want to define anything beyond 80,000, or else 90,000, 85,000, 83. Okay, we'll use this cell value. Okay, and anything greater than 60,000. Okay, and then apply. You can see the values have changed. So all these things are configurable. So don't get confused or don't get stressed out if you are not able to understand. You can simply click on the column where the conditional formatting is done, or else if you want to do something on that, go to manage rules, and here you can edit rule and you can easily identify what's going on, right? So this is all about conditional formatting. Of course, very useful tool, very useful concept, which we use in Excel. And definitely it's used in most of the scenarios where you want to show some attributes, show some values like sales analysis, or you're doing some analysis on some salary, employee salary, manager salary. It depends upon use case to use case. If you're dealing with a medical data, number of patients, has the number of patients increased or decreased? All these things are usually done in Excel, and conditional formatting is a very strong concept. Definitely a must known skill. I mean, it should be a must skill for a data analyst and a business analyst. So that's it for this video, for this particular class. In the next class, we'll be coming up with some advanced topics. Thank you.